20-year-old phlebotomist Cassandra Trester is suing her former roommate, 20-year-old college student Layla Richardson, for purposely bleaching her clothes.
Order. All rise. Yeah, this is case number 534 on the calendar in the matter of Trester versus Richardson. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Gentlemen, have seats.
Ms. Trester, the defendant was a roommate of yours, and it is your claim that when she moved out, she purposely bleached your clothes. And in addition, she either took or stole some of your property.
Yes.
Defendant says nonsense. When did you move in together?
We moved in August.
How many people were sharing the apartment?
There's 4 of us all together.
Was it an apartment, a townhouse?
It was a townhome, three levels.
Were you going to school or working?
I do both.
And the other people?
My brother and the other roommate work, and Layla was working at the time.
When did you move out?
I moved out on November 9th, 2000.
Had you signed the lease?
Yes, I had.
So you broke your lease when you moved out?
No, I had cleared it with our landlord.
But you were breaking your lease by moving out early?
Yeah.
Okay. Tell me why you moved out.
I moved out because I would come home various nights from work, and pretty much in the living room, couch, entertainment center, everything was mine. And stuff was getting misused on my entertainment center. My cats were purposely being let outside, and they weren't outside cats. And I was just, you know, I moved all my stuff up to my room, pretty much. And a couple days later, I was in Cheyenne, Wyoming, visiting a friend. Cassandra called me and pretty much told me that it was unfair that I moved my stuff upstairs because, you know, all the roommates were using it. And I explained that pretty much, you know, if they can't use it properly, it is my stuff. I should be able to move it up to my room if I'd like to. And pretty much after that, we just weren't getting along, arguing, yelling at each other. And I had previously been in a car accident. I didn't need any extra stress, so I figured it was better for both of us just to end the situation and for me to move out and move on.
Now, Ms. Trester, it is your claim that the defendant damaged some of your property, and that was on the 9th of November?
Yes.
Well, tell me about it.
Well, actually, to correct her, the reason she moved out is we actually had a physical confrontation. A couple days before, she had thrown a bowl at my head and I slapped her back.
She had thrown a what at your head?
A cat food bowl at my head, and I had slapped her back. I went in later that day and apologized and was like, we'll work these things out. I know you lost your job, you don't have rent. I can cover you for a little bit longer. We just need to work on it. She wasn't paying
How
her
long
bills.
hadn't she paid the rent?
It was due on the 1st, so she moved out on the 9th, so it was 9 days late. And the main thing was that our bills she had written checks to bounced, and she was unwilling to take care of them. That was the problem. And she was like, I'm too busy to take care of it. So I was like, well, you need to take care of it or get out. At that point, we were okay. I came home. I felt that her moving her stuff out of the front room was vindictive because she was doing it because she was upset at me. And I told her, if this is the way it's going to continue to be, maybe it'll be better if you get out. I would rather have you out. She said that I was overreacting. We needed to talk about it. So I was like, we'll talk about it when I get home from work the next day. She called me at work from that day. That was on the 7th, and told me that she was moving out. I went home that night to monitor things getting moved around because, of course, things always get taken when people move out. And her mom and her were egging me on to fight, saying that I wasn't tough enough. So I went up into my room and stayed until I had heard that they'd left. When I left, I came downstairs to grab all my stuff because while I was up in my room, I heard her and her mom constantly going, is this Cassie's stuff? If it is, I don't care, break it. It's not mine. I don't care, break it. Hearing things thud, hit the wall, laughing, just very horrible things. So when I came downstairs, the first thing I went to was my clothes because that's most important to most girls. But and I went into there and the bleach was just overwhelming. Like my eyes started burning.
On what floor is the laundry room?
It's on the 1st level. The 2 bedrooms are upstairs, so I came downstairs and I could smell bleach as soon as I got to the bottom of the stairs and went in there. And lo and behold, all of my clothes have bleach on them. And the bleach bottle was standing up and had the cap on it. So I called the police and made a report, and that's this for you.
What other items do you say that the defendant has of yours?
Clothes, books. She had also borrowed a bunch of things from me because I always was open to letting her borrow whatever she wanted as long as she returned it. And I'd asked for her to give that stuff back before she moved out. And she said that she would and never did. She moved out, and about 2 weeks after she was completely out of the house, I came home and there were multiple things missing, including almost half of my wardrobe. I had barely anything left. And of course, I live with 2 boys, so they're not borrowing it. And she still had the keys at that time that she was unwilling to give because she stated that she was still on the lease until I got a new person on the lease and she was entitled to come over.
I'll hear you.
Thank you. Actually, the night we were moving out, about a couple days before, about me throwing a cat bowl.
I don't care about cat bowl. I care about her bleached clothing.
Yeah, the night we were moving out, I had quite a few friends over helping me pack and my own mother. And my mom had gone in the bathroom saying, you know, is any of this stuff yours, Layla? And I said, the bleach is mine, but there's not enough to even worry about taking. There's probably like an inch left in the bottle, so I wasn't even gonna worry about it. And I also, if you would like to look at it, my mom was supposed to be my witness today, because in the police report, you can see that Cassie actually said my mother bleached her clothes.
I don't care if it was her mother or if it was you or one of the friends that you brought over.
Okay.
Madam, you're responsible.
Okay.
I mean, that's easy. Nobody bleaches their own clothes.
Can I make another point, please?
Just a second. Nobody bleaches their own clothes. And if you just said to me, I was there with my mother and some other of my friends who came to help me move, it's clear to me that she did not bleach her own clothes. So either you bleached her clothes. I can't imagine your mother being immature enough to bleach her clothes, but maybe one of your friends. Maybe your mother, when she got annoyed and she said, is this bleach yours? And you said, yes, but it's not worth taking because there's only an inch left in it. And she said, fine, and poured it out. Something like that, but you're responsible for her clothes. Next.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Cassandra Trester says ex-roommate Layla Richardson owes for bleaching her clothes. Cassandra also claims that while moving out, Layla stole her belongings.
You have any of her clothing?
No, I don't.
I'm going to say it again. Do you have any of her clothing?
No, I don't, ma'am. And can I just say one more thing about
Sure.
when I was moving out? We were moving out, and I got my stuff in trucks to go to the storage unit to put in there, and it was about 8:30, and we were walking right past that bathroom. I didn't smell any bleach. I am really unaware of what happened, honestly. If you can look at the police report, that would be great.
Why would you think she would bleach her own clothes?
I really don't know, but...
What's the value of the clothing that was bleached and destroyed?
Sorry, I don't have it all added. I have it all added in between.
Okay, let me have it.
Turtleneck, which was $80. Trans 9 pants, $80 as well. Long sleeve blue shirt, just $20. Pair of jeans, $50. Black short sleeve shirt worth $20. Blue Chinese riding shirt, which is $30. A black sweater, which is $30, and pajama bottoms worth $10.
$320. Now, you have no direct proof that she stole anything from your house.
Actually, I do.
I'd like to hear the proof.
Jeremy called me and was like, Layla just came over. Jeremy.
What's your last name?
Skog.
Okay. How do you know these people?
At the time, I was Layla's best friend and also a very good friend of Cassie's.
Okay.
I was there with Layla helping her move her things out. What Cassie said about Layla taking different articles of her clothing, or I'm sorry, different things out of the kitchen and stuff, is this Cassie's, okay, then break it. That is correct. That happened several times throughout the night. I went into the bathroom to go to the bathroom, and I recall there being a strong odor of cat litter, and I actually mentioned something about that. After I left the bathroom, only 2 people went into the bathroom before Cassie found the bleach, which was Layla and her mother. Later that night, after everything had happened, right after the police officer had called me, Layla called me and said, please don't say that my mom and I did it. I swear I had nothing to do with it. Please don't say that my mom and I did it. I told her I'd already talked to the police officer and that I said I wasn't positive that she had done it, but that I had told the police officer that the only 2 people in the bathroom were Layla and her mother. A couple days later, she called me and said, I want you to see how cute I look today. Can I come over? I said, absolutely. She came over and she was wearing the purple floral skirt of Cassie's that she had lost and the gray New York sweater. And
Yeah, just a second. Yes?
I'm sorry, I obviously didn't steal any of her clothes.
Well, let's talk about that particular outfit. He's not lying. He's telling me the truth.
Okay. Well,
He's telling me the truth. That's what he saw you wearing.
okay, well, actually, I don't have a pink floral skirt or anything.
You don't have one that belongs to you.
correct.
No, I don't wear skirts, ma'am.
Listen to me.
I don't have
Listen to me.
her clothes.
He's not lying to me. How do I know that? I don't share my secrets, but I know that he's not lying to me.
And then I believe almost every day that week, she had come over wearing something that I recognized as Cassie's. The gray New York sweatshirt that she was wearing, or the sweater vest that she was wearing at the time, actually was one of the reasons that these two were fighting, was because Cassie, it was her favorite sweater, and she'd asked for it back several times, and Layla refused. Every time we went to Layla's house that she was wearing it, she would take it off before we even went into the house so that Cassie didn't see it. Layla has her lip and her eyebrow pierced. She had Cassie's horseshoe barbell in her lip and a barbell in her eyebrow as well, which belonged to Cassandra as well. I've seen her in the clothes several times.
Cassandra doesn't get any high marks for having places to put those.
Actually, I don't have that many places there extra for my belly button. She used them for her eyebrow ring.
I'll hear you witness. You have a witness? Is that why you brought this person?
His name is Steven Snow. He was there the same night also.
Okay, Steve, I've already decided that she or her mother bleached the clothes. So I want you to pass over the bleaching. I don't want you to waste your time with nonsense about the bleaching. She or her mother bleached the clothes. What do you know about any other clothes that are in Miss Richardson's possession that don't belong to her? Do you know anything about that?
I do not.
Good, then you may be seated. Miss Richardson.
Yes?
If you're going to lie, lie big. You don't lie over $500, which is what the plaintiff is suing for. She's suing for $500 for her clothes. The bleached clothes alone come to $320. I would give her the $500 just because you were nasty. But I found that you do, in fact, have other of her property that you decided for some reason to appropriate for your own use. I would suggest you better grow up. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $500. That's all. Thank you.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Stuff was being thrown around, but nothing was broken. I was in the same bathroom, didn't smell any smell.
The judge knew who was telling the truth.
He's only there for 10 minutes. I'm sure he knew a lot.
Maybe she's vindictive. I don't know.
I think the truth came out, and I'm glad that it happened.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Tao versus Perry, step forward, please.
27-year-old claims adjuster Daisy Tao is suing ex-boyfriend, 33-year-old graphic artist Adam Perry, for an unpaid loan. Adam says the money in question was to pay Daisy's bills.
Ms. Tower, the defendant is a former boyfriend of yours. I gather that you lived together for a brief period of time. You claim 2 loans to the defendant totaling $2,500. Relationship is over. You want your money.
Yes, that's correct, ma'am. I did not live with him, though. That's not correct.
You did not?
No, I never lived with him.
Okay. I'll get to you in a second. When was the first loan?
On February 9th, 2001.
What was it for?
He's told me that he was behind in rent, car payment, that he didn't have any money. And so I helped him out. I gave him a loan of $1,500 that we agreed upon that he would pay me back when he got his taxes. And in March, he told me that he was still short and behind on his mortgages.
Could you put your hand down?
And so then I had to loan him another $1,000. And so at that point, I was getting a little concerned, and I did tell him that I expected him to pay me back. He agreed to this and said that he would pay me back in the summer, because at the time he was unemployed and trying to go to school.
Where were you living in February of 2001?
I lived at home in Little Canada, Minnesota.
At home with whom?
With my family.
Where were you living in March?
At home.
And where was the defendant living?
He lived in Dayton, Minnesota.
Were you working?
Yes.
Did you ever stay over at his house or apartment?
I would go to see him once in a while, yes.
I'm asking you a question. I expect honest answers. Do you
Yes.
understand? Did you ever stay over at his home?
Yes, I've spent the night at his house, yes.
On an average of how many nights a week?
Maybe once a week, once every 2 weeks.
Now, Mr. Perry, it is agreed that she gave you $2,500.
Yes, Your Honor.
Now, you tell me what that money was for.
In January, Your Honor, she wanted to move in together. I had a relative living with me, and she asked if I had my relative move out.
Your Honor, that is not true.
I don't want you to interrupt him.
So my cousin moved out, and she agreed to roughly pay half of the bills, which I have a list of a couple of months, which total a little over $1,100, and she said
That's
she would
not
pay
true, Your
half.
Honor.
Do you want...
I'm sorry, ma'am. I don't mean to be disrespectful, but what
Then you
you're saying is
can't
not true.
speak when he's speaking. When, according to you, did she move into your home?
In early January.
She moved all of her clothes and belongings and...
She had clothes, belongings, hair dryers, curling irons.
Are you telling me, sir, that she moved all of her personal belongings from her parents' house into your house?
She wasn't living at her parents' house, Your Honor.
Where was she living?
She would stay at some friend's house, and she moved from place to place, and that's why she asked, because she was going to switch her job position and move closer to where I lived so that we could be together.
So she moved in January?
Yes, Your
And she
Honor.
agreed to, according to you, roughly pay half the expenses?
Exactly what my cousin was paying, which was about $500.
Well, now you changed story.
Mm-hmm.
So which is the story, that she agreed to pay for roughly half the expenses, or that you had a fixed amount of $500?
It was about $500, Your Honor.
Now, about $500, sir, isn't an agreement.
No.
So what was it? Well, let's say this. She moved in January.
Yes.
Did she give you a check in January?
No. She did not
No,
give me...
shh, no.
Okay.
She gave you nothing in January.
No.
And then on February 9th, she did give you $1,500.
Yes.
Is that right?
She said...
Just a minute. And that was the beginning of February.
Yes.
So I assume you were going to tell me that at the beginning of February, having lived there for 1 month and having had an agreement with you that she would pay you roughly $500 a month, she decided to pay you for January.
Yes, Your Honor.
And February.
Yes, Your Honor.
And then prepay March.
Yes, Your Honor.
So that's $1,500.
Yes, Your Honor.
And then in March, right now she's already paid in March, for March. But in March, she gives you another $1,000.
Yes.
And that is, I assume you're going to testify that she said to you, well, I've already paid for March, but I like to pay my bills in advance, so I'm going to pay you for April and May.
Yes, she gave me money.
Yes, that's what you're telling me.
Yes,
That's
Your
what she
Honor.
did. Is that right?
Yes.
Bull. That's not the way it works, sir. If somebody agrees to move in with you as a roommate, and let's say she fell behind in January, so she maybe would have given you January, if I believed your story, January and February. So she would have given you $1,000 to cover January and February.
Yes, Your Honor.
And then when March came, she would have paid you $500 for March, so she would have given you a total of $1,500 for January, February, and March.
Yes.
And what you're telling me is, no, that's not what she did. She paid you 3 months at one time, a little in advance, and then she paid you for 2 months after that. I don't believe you, sir.
She wanted me to keep ahead, Your Honor.
I don't believe you, sir. I believe that you fell behind in your bills. Now, you didn't tell me about that. Did you fall behind in your bills?
Yes, I did.
Okay. So you needed money.
Yes.
Is that right? Did you say anything to her about giving her back any money when you got your tax returns in April?
I did not, Your Honor. She was there at least 4 days a week, Your Honor.
I was
Oh,
not.
shh, just a minute. Mr. Perry, when somebody lives with you full-time,
Yes.
they are not there 4 days a week.
No, she was not living with me full time.
Give her back her money, Mr. Perry. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $2,500, that's all.
Parties are excused.
45-year-old CPA Lynn Lemke is suing her ex-boyfriend, 47-year-old counselor John Mungo, for an unpaid loan to keep him out of jail, the return of a car, and an assault.
Order. All rise. Now, this is case number 256 on the calendar in the matter of Lemke versus Mungo. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated, sir. Have a seat, please.
Ms. Lemke, the defendant was a former boyfriend of yours. According to your complaint, he owes you for 3 things. He owes you for money that you loaned to him at one point when he was facing incarceration. He owes you for the value of a car, which you say you purchased, although it was in his name, it was supposed to be your car, and that he owes you for damages as a result of an assault that took place over a year ago. Is that right?
That's correct.
I assume that the loan that kept him out of jail was the first money that you're suing for. Is that right?
Yes.
And tell me the circumstances surrounding that loan.
John was, faced going to jail for child support arrearages. And the day that he was to appear in court, we took the bus up together. And then I overheard his, discussion with the DA and that he needed $750 to take him, him out of jail. And we agreed that I would, loan him the money and that he would repay me when he was able to.
Well, how did that come about? What did you say to him and what did he say to you?
Well, what I said to him was that I had $750. Just don't worry about it, you can repay me. you know, when you're able to. I have $400 cash in my wallet, and we can go down to an ATM.
Tell me about, sir, your version of the $750, which you acknowledge that the plaintiff paid in order to keep you out of jail.
The $750, Lynn had offered to give me $700.
Tell me how it came about.
Oh, that's I was trying to do that.
No,
before we went to court, several days before she.
Look at me.
Yes, ma'am. She volunteered, said, I could give you some money to stay out. And I said, absolutely not. I don't want to do it because I would feel obligated. So a few days went by, and I was supposed to turn myself in. So we went, and then when we got into out in the hallway, the public defender said, well, do you have the money? I said, no, I don't. Lynn says, I have it. And he said, well, are you going to use it? I said, absolutely not. I don't want to, because I feel like I'm obligated. I cannot pay her back. And then she said, well, he said, well, do it. I said, no. So he left. And then he came back again and said, why don't you do it? And I said, well, and we thought about it. And I said, he convinced me to do it. I paid it, and then we went home, and that was it.
So it's not your fault, and it's not her fault. It's the public defender's fault.
No, she offered this money to me in front of Mr. Coleman here.
Just a second, but you said
yes.
that you declined to take it.
Yes, I did.
Because you would have felt obligated to repay it.
Yes.
And then you said that the district attorney or the public defender forced you to do it.
He did not force me. He coerced me into it.
He coaxed you to do it, and you did it.
Yes.
And I assume, therefore, that your initial reason for not wanting to take the money in the first place still held true, that you would have felt obligated to repay it. That's what you just told me.
That's correct.
So you took the money, and I assume you still felt obligated to repay it.
I did?
Well, then I'm asking you that. What happened, sir, between the time you walked into the courthouse, when you would have felt obligated to repay the money if the plaintiff gave you the money, and the time you actually took the money?
She told me it was a gift, and I would not have to pay her.
That is...
Absolutely.
No.
Well, Mr. Coleman
she
here heard her say it in his house.
Just a second, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
She never used the words gift. This is a gift that I'm making to you,
yes,
John.
Yes, she did.
No. She never did.
Well, that's not what she's telling you.
That's not what I believe.
Oh.
I wouldn't believe it if you told me, because I don't know if I'd believe anything you told me. I certainly wouldn't believe it if he told to me. I'm telling you, she didn't give you the money. She may have said to you, I want you to take it, and you can pay me back when you can.
Yes.
That she might have said. All right, let's move on to number two. Let's move on to car. How much did you purchase this car for?
$625.
$625. So it wasn't a Jaguar.
No.
And it wasn't a brand new car.
Absolutely not.
And you had no driver's license.
That's correct.
So you purchased a car, and you put the car in his name.
Not at the time of purchase, but yes, eventually.
When did you purchase the car?
June 29th.
What were you going to do with a car that you couldn't drive?
Well, I had wanted a car for a long time, as
just to look at it?
Friends had known, of course not.
Well, what were you going to do with it?
Have other people drive it for me so that I could get around until I have a driver's license.
So you must have discussed with him driving you around.
No, not necessarily Mr. Mungo, my roommate John Coleman.
Oh.
And no decision had been made whether it even be either one of these people.
Whatever. You put the car ultimately in his name. Tell me when.
It was in July.
So you went down to Motor Vehicles and put the car, after you had it for some time, in the defendant's name.
Yes.
Now, Mr. Mungo, according to you, there came a time when plaintiff came to reside with you in your home. Is that right?
Yes.
When was that?
Let me see here. I have the date right here. It's on the bill of sale that we used, a copy of the bill of sale that we used for the transfer of the automobile, which was dated 7/18/2000.
That's when she came to live with you?
Yes, came to stay with me.
How long did she stay with you?
2 months and 5 days.
And according to you, Mr. Mungo, your arrangement was that she could live with you rent-free and give you the car.
Correct.
Miss Lemke, did you pay any rent? Miss Lemke, pay attention.
No, I did not, and I do not remember that document at all.
Look at me. Could you look at me?
Oh, I beg your pardon.
And was it about the time you went to live with him because you had problems with your old roommate? That's why you moved out.
Well, he locked me out of the house.
Your old roommate locked you out of the house?
Yes.
And you went to live with Mr. Mungo. And at the same time that you went to live with Mr. Mungo, Was that the time you went down to motor vehicles and transferred the title to the car to his name? That's what he says.
No, when I went to live with Mr. Mungo, I was only going there for some place to sleep the night I was locked out.
But you stayed for 2 months.
That's correct, and I contracted bronchitis, had severe pneumonia in
All the time
August.
you were in Mr. Mungo's house.
I was, yes, I was.
And you did not pay any rent.
While I was taking care of him.
Shh. You did not pay any rent.
No, but I bought food and whatever, yeah.
You did
no,
not pay
I
any-
paid no rent, no.
Oh, okay. And he took care of you when you were sick.
No,
Who took care of you?
I took care of myself.
Okay. Let's get to item number 3. Tell me about this alleged assault. When did it take place?
September 11th.
What happened on September 11th?
I mentioned something about the car, which the subject I would avoid because of his fiery temper whenever the subject came up. There'd been a lot of verbal abuse.
So you started to talk about the car. He didn't want to talk about the car.
He ran from the back of his house in a fiery rage and punched me as a boxer's punch right here.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Lynn Lemke says ex-boyfriend John Mungo owes for an unpaid loan and the return of a car. Lynn also claims John charged her in a fiery rage and punched her.
Do you have a police report?
The police said that a police report could not be issued.
Police issue a police report when there's an assault. Do you have any photographs of your injuries as a result of the assault?
Yes, I do.
Can I see them, please?
It was a couple weeks later. This is about 5 weeks later. 6, maybe.
Okay, let me hear your version of what happened on this date on September 11th.
Well, Miss Lemke is an alcoholic, and she was drinking 24/7 every day for 2 months. Her idea of being
For
sick
the
with
2 months that she was living with you?
Yes, her idea of being sick with bronchitis is drinking a 1.7 liter of Jack Daniels and barfing all over the place. I had my son at my house. He was, I believe, 3 years old, and she was told when he's around and you're drinking, please do not talk to him, leave him alone. We were in the bathroom, and she came in, and she grabbed me by the arms. She was shaking me and screaming at me, and I could see the fillings in her teeth. And I broke loose from her, and I went outside. And before I went outside, my little boy was hitting her on the leg like this, saying, stop. He could see that there was this anger, and it was getting him upset. So we went outside, and my little boy kept trying to protect me, and then she went to grab him, and as she grabbed him, he kind of turned upside down, and she spiraled down into the brick fence, and he kind of kicked her in the face. And
Oh, my God. That's
a
right lie.
basically, I just was horrified. I said, oh, you've got to go. I didn't want her to be there anymore. And she kept
I
wondering.
don't know why she was there in the first place, sir.
She was there because she was so combative with John. He couldn't have her living at his house anymore. He locked her out.
So she had other places to go. She could rent a room someplace. Go
Yes,
to
she
why?
could.
So why was she living with you, sir? You're telling me she's an alcoholic. You had
I
your
wanted my
3-year-old
car
son.
back.
I think
That's
she
what
was
I wanted,
crazy mad
and
in
I
love
was
with me,
sick.
to tell you the truth.
Well,
We were having a torrid love affair.
You were having a torrid love affair
At
with
times.
somebody who you say was a complete alcoholic? When you have a torrid love affair with someone who is blind on Jack Daniels for 2 straight months.
How?
Yeah.
It's not hard.
Not for you, maybe. Not for you, maybe. Okay. What happened as a result of this assault? Were you ever contacted by the police?
Police, well, when after this happened, I picked, my son was supposed to go home to his mother. I spent the night over there. I didn't want to come back home. And apparently the police came out, and the policeman said, I think, ma'am, you must have fallen off the porch and hurt yourself.
Don't tell me what the police said to her.
Well, he was there to hear it.
This is
Hearsay.
unbelievable.
Okay. Hearsay?
Hearsay.
Oh,
This
okay.
is
Okay. Oh, yes. Go ahead.
you're despicable.
Thank you.
Excuse me.
Thank you very much.
Excuse me. Excuse me.
Quite frankly, Miss Lemke, if someone had assaulted me, causing this kind of injury,
Yes.
then there would have been a police report, there would have been a police prosecution for domestic violence.
Oh,
And
2
I
weeks
cannot
later, I went to court. I went to jail for domestic violence, Your Honor.
And I cannot understand, madam, why you would not follow up on this case that happened over a year ago. Why?
I've been sick for months.
Okay, you're going to get your $750 bail money back. You are not going to get your car back because I do believe Mr. Mungo, and believe me, it was a real stretch because it's hard to believe him about a lot of things. I do believe that he agreed to have you live there rent-free in exchange for this $625 car that you would put in his name anyway. As far as your request for damages with regard to the assault, I am not quite sure how this happened. And it is quite possible that you were, in fact, intoxicated at the time, and you're not sure how it happened either. So this is the judgment of the court. You keep the car, and you give her $750 for the bail money. You got me? Good, that's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Lady Smirnoff,
Well, he bought alcohol for me.
I think she's still in love with me, and she just wants to have some type of contact.
In fact, he had stated he liked me better drunk than sober because he wanted anything from me.
And now the next case.
All parties on Astuto versus Curley, step forward, please.
23-year-old secretary Joan Astuto is suing her ex-fiancé, 25-year-old tile setter Sean Curley, for half the cost of a wedding that never happened.
Mrs. Studo, according to your complaint, you had a long relationship with the defendant, spanning a little over 5 years.
Yes.
You have a child together.
Yes.
And at some point, you decided to get married. He proposed and gave you a ring.
Yes. I picked it out. I put down 80 towards it, and he put the rest.
Okay, how much was the ring?
It was a little over $200. I put down 156.
Okay, and then there came the time when you started to plan the wedding.
Mm-hmm.
And you put some money down on various things for the wedding, a hall, a DJ, all totaling about $700. And then in September, you decided this was not going to work out. You called off the wedding and moved out, right?
Yes, ma'am.
What did you put the money down on?
The reception hall at the Spartan Manor,
How much was that?
600,
Yeah.
and 95 towards the DJ.
Who was going to pay for the wedding?
We were both, but I put down the money for the DJ. And
Tell me the discussion that you had.
Well, I discussed on where to have it, and we agreed at the Spartan Manor, and then we went together to the reception site and put down the deposit.
Okay, and how come you put down the deposit?
Because I was the one who had the money.
I didn't have the lump sum of $600 to put down at the time.
At the time?
Yes, ma'am.
And what about the DJ?
I told him how I was booking that DJ, and he agreed.
I don't remember anything like that.
How did you think this wedding was going to get paid for?
Very slowly.
What do you mean very slowly? What does that mean?
Basically,
Don't look down. Look up at me.
Okay, sorry, ma'am. Week for week until it was paid off. The $600 was a down payment, and then they wanted payment after that every week, and I would have to pay that.
Oh, that's perfect. So it was your intention, Mr. Curley, despite your answer, that you intended to pay for this wedding together.
Yes, ma'am.
So why don't you think you were at least partially responsible for the down payments that she put down?
She kept the engagement ring.
Did you keep the engagement ring?
Yes.
Oh, well, he has to be given credit for that. Why didn't you give it back to him?
Because he left.
So what?
I also paid $80 for that wedding ring.
Okay, but he paid $156, right?
Or how about I just give him his ring back?
Oh, fine. Where is it?
I can do that. It's at my house.
Oh, it's easier. So I don't have to deal with that later. We'll just take off the $156. The entire cost that you put down was $700. Half of that would be $350. So that's $194.
I also left my house, gave it to her, $48,000, fully furnished. We have a child together, and I left them two in the house.
How much equity is there in the house?
Nothing. We just bought it a year ago.
How much of a down payment did you put down?
A little over $1,000.
So you didn't leave her with a $48,000 house. You left her with a $47,000 debt. You have a daughter together?
Yes, ma'am.
Paying child support?
Yes, ma'am.
How much?
I pay, right now it's not court ordered, but I'm paying $88 every week. We do have a court date for that in a couple weeks to determine child support.
And do you visit with your daughter regularly?
No, I haven't seen her since Christmas Day of 2000.
Why is that?
She has not let me see her.
Why is that?
I've told him he can come to the house and pick her up, and he refuses.
I've had threats from her house.
You know, I've done in the last
Just a
5
second.
years for
Just a
him
second.
enough. I am, I'm not his mother. I don't want to be his mother anymore.
I'm not interested in whether you want to be his mother anymore. So you say that you've told him that he can come to the house and pick up your
numerous
daughter.
times.
What does he want you to do?
He says no. He says to meet me at the police station. This weekend, I called him to meet him at the police station. I talked to his girlfriend and argued with her on the phone.
Just a second. So he was smart and he indicated to you, just meet me for pickup and delivery at the police station. If he's afraid of some altercation that might take place when he comes to pick up the child in your home, then usually when I was full-time sitting family court judge, I would make pickup and return in some neutral place where there were people around so that would avoid confrontation between two people who don't get along. So picking up and returning the child at the police station is a very good idea.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
He has to see his daughter. You have absolutely no right to keep the child from him. None. And I would assume that when you go to court, you make sure that you tell the judge when you go to court, Mr. Curley,
Yes, ma'am.
that what you had suggested because of the problems was a pickup and return in a neutral spot, and she had rejected that.
Yes, ma'am.
There's no question that the court will order visitation because whether it worked out between the two of you or not, your child has a right to spend time with you.
Yes, ma'am.
So judgment is for the plaintiff in the amount of $194. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
26-year-old Danny Valenzuela is suing his son, 19-year-old student Danny Valenzuela Jr., for the cost of a car he totaled.
Order. All rise.
Three times. Yeah, this is case number 307 on the calendar in the matter of Valenzuela versus Valenzuela. Parties have been sworn in, Your Honor. You may be seated. Ma'am, have a seat, please.
Mr. Valenzuela, the defendant is your son.
Yes, he is, Your Honor.
According to your complaint, your son was driving your car and he had an accident. As a result of the accident, your car was totaled.
Yes.
The insurance company gave you some $1,800 for the car, is that right?
Actually, it's $1,187.81 was the offer.
You want your son to pay the difference between what you're going to accept from the insurance company and the blue book value of the car.
Yes. Honest, to begin with, Your Honor, I don't really care about the money. My wife and I are both here to hopefully, with your help, teach my son a lesson. Teach him to be a responsible adult instead of a young kid, 19 going on 14.
Well, the first thing, Mr. Valenzuela, is you have to teach your child is that if you have family disputes, you keep them within the family and you don't go to court. That's number one.
That's the first thing we tried.
Okay. Because going to court with a child is usually
The hardest thing we've done.
Well, it's a hard thing to do, and it's not only a hard thing to do, it usually doesn't promote family harmony in the long run. But that's really what you want. You want him, according to your papers, to pay the difference between what the value of the car was and what your insurance company is prepared to give you.
That's what I put in the thing.
And the defendant says that he was given a settlement. Is that right?
Yes.
For this accident. And after he finished paying the attorney's fees and the fees to the doctor that probably the lawyer sent you to, is that right?
Mm-hmm. Yes, very much so.
Just pay attention. After you finished paying the lawyer and after you finished paying the chiropractor that he probably sent you to, he sent you to a chiropractor?
Yes.
How did I know that?
You the boss, applesauce?
Yeah. That you got $1,600 for your pain and suffering, and it's your pain and suffering, and your father should not be entitled to any of that. That's your defense, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Tell me about the accident, sir. When did you have this accident?
January 28th, 2000.
Okay.
And I asked to borrow my father's car to go pick up one of my friends. And I was going along and I was driving and this guy just pulled out in front of me and made me swerve out of the way and I ended up hitting one of the power poles or whatever there. And then
what company did you settle with? Your father's insurance company or the other car's insurance company?
They had the same insurance company, actually.
Well, who did you sue?
His insurance company, I guess.
I'm asking you, sir.
His insurance company.
The other person's insurance company.
Yes.
And the other person's insurance settled with you.
Yes. For pain and suffering I endured.
No, I understand that. But if they settled with you, that must have meant that they found that the other car was at fault. Is that right?
Yes, they found that their driver was 25% at fault, and my son was 75% at fault.
Oh, do you have those papers?
What percent?
This is the police report, and here's the liability right there.
I don't know anything about those percents.
You don't know anything about anything.
Like I said, Your
You had a
Honor,
lot of pain and suffering? I want you to tell me all about your pain and suffering. First, I want you to tell me, after this happened, when did your pain and suffering start?
The next morning, I had whiplash in the neck.
Tell me all about it.
When I woke up, my neck was just like, I couldn't even really move at all. Like it was hard for me to move. Like every movement was pain for me.
So,
and then
and how old were you at the time?
18.
What were you doing at the time? Were you working, going to school?
Oh, I was a student.
You were a student?
Yeah, high school
Where?
student.
Cal Poly Pomona.
I was going to Apple Valley High School.
No, don't look at him. Look at me. Look at me. So
Okay,
you were
I was going to Apple Valley High
school.
School. I was a high school student the date of the accident. And the pain that I endured...
Did you go to school the following week?
Yes, I think so. I'm not.
When did you go to see a lawyer?
I'm not sure.
Try to think.
Within the week or so?
Approximately about 3 to 4 weeks after that.
And how many visits to the doctor did he have between the time of the accident and the time you went to see a lawyer?
About 3 or 4 times.
Before you went to the lawyer?
Yes.
Did you graduate from high school?
Yes, with honors.
Perfect, which means that you didn't miss too much school because of all of this pain and suffering, right?
No.
Mr. Valenzuela.
Yes.
Mercury Insurance, I gather, insures both you and the other car.
Yes,
Is that
they do,
right?
Your Honor.
Well, Mercury Insurance Company did pay him in settlement to settle a claim for what they perceive to be his pain and suffering. You are not entitled to that.
Okay.
According to him, he got a net check of $1,600.
Neck and back.
Oh, I feel so sorry for you. The accident was mostly your fault. What do you want me to do? Throw you a party? A pity party?
He pulled out in front of me.
If you weren't going so fast, sir, you wouldn't have hit a pole. You're supposed to drive defensively. You're supposed to be able to stop on a dime.
I saved his life by not hitting him.
I'm not going behind what they found. This was your insurance company and their insurance company. You had the same insurance company. They found that you were 75% at fault. You were 75% at fault in causing the accident. And now I don't know whether they checked skid marks or whether they checked your odometer. I don't know what they did, but that's what they found. So if you were injured because you were going too fast in a car, and you must have been going pretty fast if you totaled the car, then that's what happens. Then you get a backache and a neck ache. What do you want me to do? Cry for you? You look pretty healthy to me.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Danny Valenzuela says his son, Danny Valenzuela Jr., needs to be responsible for totaling his car. Danny Sr. claims his son has received a settlement for the accident and refuses to hand over any money.
What are you doing now?
Working.
What kind of work are you doing now, Mr. Valenzuela?
Sales.
What kind of sales?
Sporting goods store.
What kind of things are you selling?
Basketballs, tents, you know.
Things that you have to move around a little bit?
Yeah.
Yeah. So clearly you are not totally incapacitated, right? As a result of this pain and suffering brought on mostly by yourself?
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, right. So, if you have an 18-year-old child and you let him drive your car,
Yes.
you have to either have a lot of insurance or you don't let him drive your car.
Yes. The
That's
thing
what
where we started with this, though, was when he had the accident, I got him to the doctor and everything. During the next 2 weeks, he goes, Dad, I feel really bad about it. What I'm going to do is make it up to you and Mom. Whatever I get from the insurance, I'm going to make up the difference. I'm working. I'll pay you guys back for the car. Don't worry about it. Everything will be fine. I said, you sure? I was really, I was impressed. My son's being responsible. 2 years later, he finally gets a settlement. I call him and said, hey, you got a letter here. He reads it, goes, I'm going to sign, settle. Saturday comes, he gets a check. I call him again. I paid him. I said, you got your check. Comes home, says, I'll be right back. That was the end of September. The first time I seen him since then.
What happened? Shh. What happened?
Well, I got the check.
Yeah. Please. So I'm asking you.
I really can't say.
Oh, yes, you can. That's why you're here.
Yeah,
well, this was money coming to my personal injury. This was money, this was a settlement for pain and suffering I endured.
Listen! But for the fact that you were out and your father let you borrow his car, you would not have been in a position to hurt yourself or to destroy his car. He didn't have anything to do with it but say, okay, you can borrow my car, right? Not his fault. Most of this accident was caused by your negligence. And all your father is saying to you, hey, stop touching your nose and look at me. All your father is asking you to do is to be responsible, because you said to him, I feel terrible about what happened to your car, and whatever it is, I'm going to make it up to you, whether it's from the insurance settlement if I get one, or from a job that I have, whatever.
I'm sorry someone else made me crash your car. That's what I'm sorry for.
Mr. Valenzuela, you ain't getting it. Are you just thick? Your father and your mother are home. But for the fact that you were out in their car, they would have their car. Now, whether you feel a moral obligation, which you probably should, I'm sure your parents are hardworking people, just from a moral perspective, if you said to them, I want to make it up to you, which was the right thing to do, and then a couple of years go by, and you say, well, now I got the check, forget about my moral obligation. All he wants you to do is to be a man.
Exactly.
I don't have $5,000 to just... Here,
there's no
Pop.
way. No. If you got a check and the whole check you got from them was $1,600, father's not looking for $5,000. Maybe what he puts here, but wasn't even your agreement with him. That's not even what you said to him. You said to him, I'll give you the money when I settle with the insurance company. Isn't that what you said to him?
Yeah.
So why didn't you do that?
Because I think that whole check I deserved for myself. I think my neck and back pains was something I went through. He didn't go through that. I was in pain.
You caused it.
But I was in pain, though. I was in pain.
Just a second. You caused yourself to be in pain.
So then I caused myself to have that check.
Hey.
Oh.
I don't think you're going to get through.
What? I'm not going to get through.
Now you see,
today.
that's what we go through.
No, Mr. Valenzuela, you're not going to get through to him. Either he just decided that he's going to stonewall me, or he's pretty stupid. I don't know which one.
Actually, he's a very smart, charismatic young man.
Listen,
But
let me tell you something
he's just
about
not growing
charismatic.
up.
Let me tell you about
First nice
charismatic.
thing he said
He
to me
doesn't do a
once.
thing for me. He doesn't do a thing for me. Because right now I'm not sure whether he's a wise guy or just plain dumb. Because the last comment that he made to me, if I caused the accident, then I should get the insurance money. Isn't that what he said? Something like that? That's what he said. If I caused the accident, I should get the insurance. What? He earned it.
He earned it.
He earned it. He earned it. Bert would ordinarily be on the side of a teenager. Bert likes teenagers. He really is all for teenagers. He thinks they're all terrific. And me, I'm not so sure. But Bert, he loves teenagers. Me, I like them medium rare. You got $1,600? You told your father you would give him the insurance proceeds? You changed your mind. There's no basis for you to change your mind, sir. You made an agreement with your father. That's what you have to give him. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $1,600. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
What did I do wrong? Someone else forced me into an accident, and then all of a sudden I'm here in court, and it's like a case all of a sudden. I don't know what I did. I still don't know what I did wrong.
I didn't really care about the money. It just
Sure.
his actions. And I told him, grow up.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Sue versus Coran, step forward, please.
25-year-old loan officer Misty Sue is suing the father of her child, 24-year-old corporate trainer Robert Coran Jr., for unpaid utility bills and for half of a down payment on a car.
Miss Sue, the defendant is your former boyfriend. You have a child together, a baby. How old is the baby?
4 months.
According to your complaint, there was a time when you lived together briefly, and he left owing you certain bills, which is just a couple of $100s. You also claim that you purchased a car together, which he took, and you put down the down payment on the car. He's paid you back some of the down payment, but he still owes you, according to you, I believe, what, $600 on the down payment. He says the down payment was a gift and that he owes you nothing. Right?
Yes.
When did you live together? From when till when?
Middle of April to August 19th.
Who was paying your rent?
I paid for the first month that I was in maternity. He paid for the second part of my maternity.
So he paid the rent?
One time, yes.
And how much was that?
$400.
Were you living there from April to August?
Off and on. After the baby was born, yes. I was there
Okay.
predominantly. The only thing is, she said I only paid 1 month during those months. And the money that she did have, she'd had enough to pay her June rent, but July and August were covered by myself. There was such a limited amount of money by the time she had the baby coming in. She was only working, maybe it was 8 hours, sometimes it would be 12 in the course of a week.
Can I ask you a question, Mr. Coran? Are you paying child support regularly now?
The judge just set all that in motion.
What do you mean all that in motion?
We had an agreement outside of, before child support, she tells me, okay, I need this or I need that, but we went last week.
To finalize an order, a set order.
What she had us do is we come in there, we write down a percentage of what we each work and what he would be paying. Well, he decided that what he has to pay is too much. He has not paid any kind of child support. If you count buying diapers once a week in which he misses weeks at a time,
no, that's not child support.
That's not child support. So, no, I am responsible for everything.
That's usually what happens. You didn't have enough of a commitment to make a commitment to each other permanently, and then you make this commitment to have a child, and that's what happens.
Your Honor, I have acknowledged that when the judge makes the decision of, okay,
how much,
I will go back retroactively. That's not an issue.
Okay. So if you're going to go back retroactively, I'm not going to entertain these other bills. I believe him when he says he paid 2 months' rent. I want to hear about this car.
I got $3,459 back on my income tax. Both of us were without a car. His car had got taken away, so he didn't have it. We were together at that point, and I said, well, why don't we go and we'll get a car together, and it'll make it cheaper on both of us, and plus with the child coming.
So you put down the down payment on the car of $1,000.
Right.
There's no discrepancy that she did, in fact, put down the original $1,000.
The agreement we had was we were not officially together. We had lived together.
You were together enough to have a child together.
Yes, we had spent November, December, January together.
I don't get into that. You were going to tell me the agreement was what with regard to this $1,000?
The agreement was because of I had supported her for 2 months in the Christmas season because she had stopped working, some issues she was dealing with. I supported her with rent and everything.
Is that true?
He supported it with rent. Yes, you are correct.
So he paid what, 2 months' rent?
Plus
1 month. He did
utilities.
it. He did not do it both months. I supported myself. I got my food for myself. I did everything on my own until January. And he did not pay the rent because the people were coming to the house saying he did not pay it. So he can sit here and say, I paid it till he's blue in the face. It's not true.
It was paid.
You wouldn't have people knocking on your door in the lease office coming to your door if you paid it.
So your defense is that you supported her for whatever period of time prior to purchasing this car so that the down payment was?
She was going to put down $1,000. She needed $400 of it back immediately. It was as soon as I got my tax money back. But the other money was given to me. The car's in my name. There was no talk of putting her on the car. The insurance is my name. But the arrangement we were supposed to have is, okay, if we're together or not.
You didn't say or not.
Or not.
No, Mr. Coran.
Okay.
I'm smarter than you are.
Sorry.
I'm smarter than you are, sir. If we were together, because you were planning on being together, this would be a car that was used by both of you.
But
and you purchased this car, was $1,000 down, and how much in payments?
It's $300 a month.
That you're paying.
Yes.
But Mr. Coran, you can't say to me, we talked about it, and the car was going to be mine. She was giving me the down payment whether we were together or not, because at that time, you weren't talking in terms of not being together. Otherwise, why would she take out $1,000 and put it? I'm speaking. Otherwise, why would she take out $1,000 for tax money and give it to you to put down on the car as a gift?
Her. Because I supported her, and she knew that in supporting her back in December, January, that I was taking the money that I didn't have that would have paid my car payment, and I lost the car over it.
You lost the car that you just bought?
No. I lost
that car you still have.
I have my Jeep. I'm saying I had a Toyota that I lost. I couldn't pay the payments because I was supporting her.
Listen, if you had made a minor investment, you wouldn't have had this problem to begin with all of her time off owing to pregnancy and confinement, and, that would have been a very minor investment. Do we understand each other?
I understand you perfectly.
Then you don't have to worry about all this stuff. You have the car?
I have the car.
Good. You give it back $600 that she put down on a judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $600. That's all.
15-year-old Doug Waller are suing 42-year-old assistant football coach Brad Zarbach for assaulting Doug during a football game. Brad says he was just breaking up a fight.
Come to order. All rise. Quiet in the courtroom, please. Yeah, this is case number 376 on the calendar in the matter of Waller versus Zarbach. Parties have been sworn in. Judge, you may be seated. Gentlemen, have seats, please.
Mrs. Waller, this is your son. What's your first name?
Doug.
What?
Doug.
Doug. Doug was playing football on the 27th of October of this year, and according to you, during the course of the game, he was assaulted by the defendant, who was the coach on the opposing team.
Yes.
You want the defendant to pay for all of his medical bills and for punitive damages as a result of that assault.
Yes, ma'am.
The defendant says it was your son who was way out of line and that he did not assault him. He merely tried to negotiate a confrontation that was going on that was really, at least in part, precipitated by your son. Fair statement?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So you were involved in an altercation. Is that right, Doug?
Yes, ma'am.
Tell me what happened.
There was a fumble in the football game, and
Now, I want you to understand something before we go any further. This is what I know about football.
okay.
The only thing I know about football is it interferes with Sundays, and they don't run around bases. So don't get technical with
All
me.
right, a fumble is where the person carrying the ball drops the ball, and that means everybody is scrambling around to get the ball. And so there was a pile, and I was on top of a kid, and he said, "Let me."
You
in."
were on top of the pile.
Yeah, well, I was like in the pile on top of another young man, and the kid said, "Let me up, and I'll kick your butt" or something, because
Okay.
yeah. And so when I was getting up, I got pushed from the back, and then me and another kid started fighting.
That's not true.
Just a second. Want to
And-
get to you in a second.
And then
So you pile on this pile, because I've seen that. How many people were under you on the pile?
I think only just the one kid that said, "Let me up."
Now, the kid that was right under you was on top of another kid. Is that right?
I don't think so. I think
Yes, that is true. Yeah.
Just a second.
I think
Well, if you fumble and somebody's got the ball, I know this much. Somebody's holding on to this ball, you know? Is that right?
That's right.
And then somebody is on top of them because they've gotten them down. Right?
That's right.
Okay. So that sounds more right to me.
Okay.
So you got somebody from your team that's got the ball underneath.
Yeah.
See, I'm picking
No.
up this game.
That's from my team.
From
My team
your
recovered the
team,
fumble. Yes, ma'am.
and then somebody from his team was on top.
The guy, our quarterback, was under the bottom of the pile, and 2 or 3 players from his team were in the pile, and he was the last guy on top of the pile.
He was the last guy on top of the
He
pile.
was the last guy on top of the pile.
Does that sound right to you, Doug?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Now, just so that I can understand this, you already got a lot of guys on this pile, so the ball's not going anywhere.
Right.
Why do you jump on top of the pile?
It's just it was going somewhere when I jumped on the pile.
No.
No,
There were a lot of people on top of the pile, so it wasn't going on. You just jump up on, because I've seen that, you know, a bunch of morons jumping on top of a pile until it gets to be very high. So you just jump on to jump on. Yeah. And the person below you said, "Get off of me," and then there was a fight.
Yes, ma'am.
So what happened as a result of that fight?
When we started fighting, he came.
Why were you fighting, by the way?
Ma'am,
We're going to get to you.
okay.
We're going to get to you. Because we're going to refresh Doug's recollection if he can, because, you know, Doug is how old?
15.
They got a lot of testosterone when they're 15.
Yes, ma'am.
Sometimes it interferes with memory.
That's true.
So my question is, why were you fighting?
Because when I was getting up off the pile, a kid pushed me from the back.
Do you know who that was?
And it shows it on the tape.
Just a second. Do you know who that was?
No, I don't know.
All right, so he pushed you.
I do.
And what happened as a result of being pushed?
Me and another kid off the opposing team started fighting.
Not the kid who pushed you.
No.
This is all such an intelligent game. So somebody else pushed you and somebody from the other team, and you started to fight.
The one that said, "Get up, and I'm going to kick your butt."
Okay. And so the two of you were fighting, punching each other?
Yes.
No, ma'am. There's no punching by my guy.
I'm going to get to you. Punching each other? What else were you doing to each other?
I'm pretty sure we just punched at the start.
Where were you punching each other?
Everywhere. Just,
Everywhere. And then you say the defendant came up.
yeah.
And what did the defendant do?
He grabbed me by my face mask and like yanked me down to the ground, and then I was punched in the back. Right
Well,
here.
who punched you?
I think him. He was
Oh, you don't know?
Absolutely not.
Just a second. You don't know who punched you.
The tape shows a struggle of some sort.
Just a second. I'm going to look at the tape. I'm asking him questions. He pulled you down by the mask, by that thing that you wear, and got you to the ground. And then somebody hit you when you were on the ground. But you don't know who hit you.
No.
He was still standing over him.
You were there, I assume, at the game. And then what happened?
And then the police officers went out and got like all the players out of there and started talking to my dad, and then that was pretty much it. Everybody left.
Well, let me ask you this question, Doug.
Okay.
Before I look at the tape and before I hear the defendant, do you think you did anything wrong that day?
Yes.
What did you do wrong?
Instigated a fight, probably.
Reacted to another child.
Don't speak. You instigated a fight. And what do you think the defendant did on that day?
Assaulted me.
Did he try to stop the fight?
I guess. Yes, ma'am.
Did he try to stop the fight?
Yeah.
Now, do you think that if someone hadn't intervened, you and this other boy would have continued to fight?
Probably not. Because after that, everybody was out on the field. They had police officers and everything, so.
And who do you think started all of that?
Just me getting pushed in the back.
Listen, they play football and they slam into each other. They slam and they body slam and they jump on top of piles and everything else. And you got pushed.
But the play was over.
Just a second. You got pushed. Did you fall down and break anything when you got pushed?
No, ma'am.
Somebody just gave you a shove. You didn't even lose your footing, right?
I fell forward, but I didn't.
You didn't lose your footing. You lurched a little bit. And then the fight was on. And then you were hurt.
Yes.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. 15-year-old Doug Waller says opposing football coach Brad Zarbach assaulted him during a game. Brad says Doug started a fight with one of his players.
You were hurt? How were you hurt?
I was pulled down to the ground and punched.
Well, I heard that you were pulled down to the ground, and that he did, and he acknowledges that he grabbed you by your mask and immobilized you. We don't know who punched you.
Yes,
Tell me about the injuries that you sustained.
Concussion,
I have a...
You have a physician's report.
I'd like to see it, please.
I don't know what they're called.
Also, our doctor bills.
I'd like to see the report first. And I assumed that October 27th was the last day you played football.
Yes, ma'am.
That's probably a real good thing.
May I say
Chess
something?
may be a good thing. Yeah, I'm going to let you say something as soon as I hear the defendant. Okay, let me hear what you have to say.
In a nutshell, Your Honor, I'm a state licensed EMT. I fixed kids that were hurt, and on this particular play, the number 6 on their team was hurt through the struggle of the fumble. And I was running out to the field. This kid was laying down, and he wasn't moving.
You mean the kid under the pile?
Yeah, he was kind of on the bottom. One of the kids on the bottom of the pile. He was on from their team.
Speak slowly.
He got hurt in the crashes. I mean, everybody who's in the fumble gets, often there's injuries that happen because of top of the head collisions.
So you ran out.
So I ran out, and I just got to the kid, number 6 on their team, to try to help him and figure out what was wrong. And then as I stood up, the number 6 got up and went away. And I guess he was all right. As I stood up and looked, I saw the defendant turn around and just start punching the quarterback. And there wasn't much of a fight because the quarterback was laying on the ground and he couldn't punch anybody. He was just trying to probably cover himself up. And at that time, I grabbed his face mask.
You mean he was standing up and punching him?
Yeah, the defendant was standing up and punching the guy on the ground. And the videotape shows that clearly. But there wasn't much of a fight because he was just beating on this poor quarterback of ours. So I got there. I thought, man, what do I do with this kid? I mean, look, he's wailing on this. I don't want to have 2 people to work on. So I
grabbed him by his face mask.
Grabbed him by his face mask. And face masks are engineered. Can I tell you a bit about face masks?
Don't tell me the whole thing. If you put your hand there, you can pull them down.
Yeah, you can pull them down, but also they're engineered to stop at the breastplate of the shoulder pads so your head doesn't ever get hyperextended, so you don't ever have any problems. It's one of the designs of a football helmet, and that's why I brought it, because this is pretty close to his football helmet. It just comes down onto the breastplate, so this doesn't hurt anybody to do this. And if you want me to show you on some...
Don't show me, I understand. He doesn't claim that he was hurt as a result of having this done to him. He says he was punched.
Yeah, well, I didn't punch. So what happened, I got him on the ground, and I said, stop it, stop it, stop it. And then Coach Mathis came out and grabbed me and said, get off the field. So I let go of his face mask, picked up our quarterback, and ran to the sideline. And that was the end of the incident.
Who's Coach Mathis?
He's the president of the league and a coach.
Are you the coach for which team?
I'm the head coach for Zarbach's team.
For your football team?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now, you wanted to say something.
Yes. As the gentleman was saying about the helmet, As he had my son's head down below his knees, that opened up a space between his shoulders and his head mask.
He was
As my
kneeling
son,
down.
my turn, please. As my son came off of the field, he was gagging and vomiting, which generally, unfortunately, as my medical bills say, is generally a head trauma.
He didn't have a head trauma.
A neck trauma, a head trauma. He has a concussion. It's what's written on the doctor's thing. If he had not grabbed my son, he should have been grabbing his own players. That is the referee's job to break up fights. Not
I would
this
like
gentleman to come out there. My son this is my youngest child. I have never physically assaulted my children, corporal punishment at all. If somebody was going to do that, he should have done that to his own players, not my son.
Okay, now just a second. Now I hear it. Now let me see the tapes.
But let me tell you one quick thing, can I, please?
Yeah.
After I got my team to the sideline, his coach had run over into the middle of the fracas, and apparently the defendant decided to bolt, and he started running straight toward me. Now, what his intentions were, I don't know, but he was on full speed. His coach grabbed him around his arms, and so he couldn't catch himself, and slammed him to the ground.
100-pound man versus 200-pound man.
Ma'am,
Madam,
he's not a...
Madam.
He was a 200...
Listen, you know, you're not in a kindergarten class now defending your child.
He was a...
Shh. Listen to me. Doug. My eyes. Did your coach come out and restrain you at any point after this?
Yes, ma'am.
Shut up.
Thank you.
When did your coach come out to restrain you?
After the incident was pretty much over.
After
Well,
the
there was-
defendant, listen to me, I didn't finish the question. After the defendant immobilized you and got you to the ground, it was after that that your coach restrained you? Yes. Well, where were you when your coach had to restrain you?
Well, most of the teams were grouped together. and
Yes.
I was in my side of the field, and there was still like a little kind of ruckus going on.
So after, you're irritating me.
I'm sorry.
So after this whole thing happened, when you were nauseous and vomiting and everything else, after this, you were continuing the altercation because your coach came out and restrained you.
I vomited after that.
After your coach restrained you or before?
After.
Now, did your coach have to restrain anyone else?
Well, he grabbed kids and got them out of the fight.
Did he have to physically put his hands
No.
around anybody else other than you? So would it be fair to say, Doug, that you were the one who was involved in most of the acting out at that moment when your coach came over to restrain you?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, what were you doing?
Just caught up in the moment.
No, not caught up with the moment. What were you doing when your coach came out to restrain you?
I was running over towards their side of the field.
Running over to do what?
Go after this guy.
Go after which guy?
Zarbuck.
You were going over to the field to assault the defendant.
I was running over there, yes.
Well, what were you going to do?
I didn't really have it planned or anything.
You didn't have a plan. And how far did you run? Point to some place in this room. How far did you run before
Probably
the coach
from
restrained you?
their table to about halfway through my table.
And then the coach got you and restrained you. And other than putting his arms around you, what did he do to restrain you?
Well, he brought me to the ground and then...
Put his arms around you and brought you to the ground. Your coach.
Yes.
Now I'll see the tape. What number are you?
41. Right there. He's punching.
You're just pushed.
Just a second. Can we go back a second, please?
And there's Mr. Zarbuck.
Pardon? Can we go back a second?
I'm not punching him at all.
Now start it. Everybody's getting up.
He gets pushed.
Oh, this guy's throwing him around. I don't know, he's tapping like this.
Who's on top now?
That's my coach.
That's your coach?
Yes, ma'am.
And who's on the bottom?
Me.
That's your coach?
Yes, ma'am.
Is there any more on this tape you want me to see? Go ahead. So your coach got you down, threw you down.
If you listen to what the parents are saying.
What?
The parents are speaking in the tape.
I don't care what the parents are saying.
How appalled they were and that he came out.
I don't care what the parents are saying. I'm looking to see who's on top of him and who got him to the ground, and it's the coach of his own team. Is there anything else on this tape? No. All right. You have a tape you want me to see?
I do. It's a different angle from our bench. Just shows how he's punching him. You can't see him laying on the ground. It's clean.
Now, when your coach got you down here, was that before or after the defendant got you down?
After.
After. Looked pretty healthy to me. Healthy enough for your coach to have to immobilize you. Can I see that tape, please, Bert? Is it all?
Sure.
Thank you.
Judge Judy?
Yeah?
I understand that this same incident has happened where he's gone out and assaulted a child during baseball.
Listen, I'm not
Absolutely
interested.
not.
Not
Oh,
interested.
my heck.
Not interested. I'm interested in October 27th.
When he gets up. That's basically it.
Even the coach was punching that behind.
Okay. That's it.
Who's on the ground now?
That's him to me. He lays on him for 22 seconds.
Just a second. That's you on the ground.
Yes, ma'am.
And who's on top of you?
My coach.
Your coach. Your case is dismissed. That's all.
Is that excused?
Suing his ex-wife, 30-year-old homemaker Bethany Gray, for half of their son's medical bills. Bethany says Richard took their boy to the wrong doctor.
Order. All rise. Yeah, this is case number 304 on the calendar in the matter of Gray versus Gray. Parties have been sworn in. Judge, you may be seated. Ladies, have seats, please.
Mr. Gray, when were you and the defendant divorced?
In 1995.
And how many children do you have?
1.
Your lawsuit involves the child.
Yes.
It is your claim that pursuant to your judgment of divorce, each of you is required to pay 1/2 of the unreimbursed medical expenses for the child.
Yes, ma'am.
And that you took the child to see a psychologist.
Yes.
Child was treated by this psychologist, and you want the defendant to pay 1/2 of that bill.
Yes, ma'am.
Which was how much? $300 and some odd dollars?
For the psychologist alone, it was $195 for her part.
And then?
The medical expenses totaled up $595 for her part.
What were the rest of the medical expenses for?
Doctor's visits for attention deficit disorder, his checkups, medication.
Over what period of time did you have him treated?
From 1998 up to present date.
When did you first present her with the bill?
My wife and I have presented her with the bills every few months all along, and she's refused to pay every time.
What reason did she give you for not wanting to pay?
She says she doesn't have to pay. The courts aren't going to make her.
Miss Gray, was your son diagnosed as having attention deficit disorder?
Yes.
Your defense is that he took him to a doctor that was out of plan.
Yes.
And therefore, since you're covered by some sort of a health plan, is it a private health plan or is it a state health plan?
State.
That since he could have gotten the treatment for nothing, you shouldn't have to pay anything.
Yes.
Are you the primary custodian for the child?
Yes.
Why didn't you take the child then to the doctor?
He was 4 years old. I was going to wait until he started school and see if it was something that he would grow out of.
Well, clearly he didn't.
Once he established the doctor down in Bakersfield, my pediatrician tried to keep in touch with him. Because of the medication, we were trying to keep it in one place. And I am right now, under my pediatrician's recommendation, having a reevaluation done.
So you consented to him taking the child to this doctor after 1998?
I didn't consent to it. He never told me about it.
No, he did tell you about it. Initially, he had to have told you because if the child was prescribed medication in 1998 and you are the child's primary custodian, you would have had to have given the child medication when the child was with you.
Yes, I do give him the medication.
So if you gave him the medication, then you knew that the child had a diagnosis, which I'm sure you discussed with your former husband, so you consented to it.
Yes, with my doctor's consent.
Fine. You didn't say to him at that time, Miss Gray, I don't want you to take the child to your doctor anymore. I will take care of it here.
I've tried to.
You didn't?
No,
Can I see your judgment of divorce, please?
I have told him that. I've never been presented a bill either.
Okay, well, this order clearly says that both parties shall be responsible for 1/2 of all such expenses not otherwise covered by insurance.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay? So when I asked you that question, Miss Gray, you clearly knew when the child was 4 that the child had certain problems, and that you said you wanted to wait until he got to school to see whether the problems would resolve themselves.
He was my first child, and I assumed that it was basically being a 4-year-old child, just busy and playing, and I had him in Head Start. They didn't see any reason to take him in for a diagnosis at that time. My pediatrician wanted to keep it separate and just keep in contact with that doctor that he took him to, who is
So you consented to him taking the child to that doctor?
I guess
If you
I did.
consented to him taking the child to that doctor, under the terms of your judgment of divorce, you are responsible for 1/2 of the unreimbursed medical bills.
I provided him with a Medi-Cal card. He chose to take him to a doctor that didn't accept Medi-Cal and now wants me to pay for it. And I have provided him with insurance, which he is court-ordered to provide, and he doesn't.
Do you?
Yes, that's the Medi-Cal. I provide that for him.
How do you provide Medi-Cal for him?
I get AFDC because I can't work.
Well, then the state
For
provides it.
7
You don't
years.
provide it. I provide it. Bird provides it, but you don't provide it. You
It's
don't
because
provide
I
it.
can't work.
Whatever. You don't provide it. You can't say, I provide him insurance. You don't provide him with insurance.
He's got insurance because of me.
Well, let me ask you this question, Mr. Gray. Is it true that your former wife is unemployed?
Yes, she has been for 7 years.
So how do you expect her to pay this money?
She gets AFDC, and she is living with the father of her other 2 children that has a $45,000 a year income.
How can you get AFDC if you are married?
I'm not
that
married.
I'm not worried
Just a
about.
second.
She's not married to the man. She's living with him.
Do you have other children?
Yes, I do.
How old are they?
5 and 2.5.
Well, why can't you work?
Because I've been diagnosed with fibromyalgia. In 1998, the counselor that Cody was seeing didn't want me to work because they wanted me home with him. After that, the county didn't want me to work because I had a child under the age of 1. Then my current doctor does not want me to work because of the fibromyalgia. I've got the papers and the
I
documents.
mean, I'm just curious
stating
if
that.
you can't work, but you can have 2 young children, and you're living with somebody now full time, and you have
Yes.
2 children with that person, and that
Yes.
person is employed?
Yes.
What kind of work does that person do?
He's a roofer.
He's a roofer. You live in your own home?
We rent a duplex, yes.
Okay. Can I see the bills, please?
We aren't married because of this. Because in the last 6 years, he's taken me to court 7 times over custody issues.
What does that have to
And
do with not being married?
My fiance is afraid that it's going to affect his income and his taxes.
Well, it may, but you can't choose not to work.
I'm not choosing
Yes,
not to work.
you choose not to work. You cannot choose not to work if you have a financial obligation for this child who is older.
He's
You had-
$11,979 in debt to child support. I'm not choosing not to work. I tried to work in October, from October 9th of
Miss
2000.
Gray, when you have 2 children and you live with a man as a family, and the reason you are not married is to avoid certain obligations.
I'm not avoiding obligations.
Yes, you are. If you're living with a man who is a roofer, who earns a substantial living, and you have 2 children with him, and you're getting welfare, that, according to me, is a scam. That's a scam.
The county knows about it, and
The county may
has-
know about it. The county may have its head up behind, but I don't.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Richard Gray says ex-wife Bethany Gray refuses to pay for half their son's medical bills. Bethany says Richard refuses to use a doctor covered by her insurance.
Miss Gray, I've been in family court for a very, very long time. There is no question that if you married the man who is the father of your 2 young children, you would not be receiving welfare.
Every time
There
we
is
have
no
planned to get
question.
married, he has taken me to court. He has harassed me through court 7 times in 6 years, trying to get custody. And the judge in Kern County finally moved venue from Kern County to Placer County because he
Gray,
has done harassing me.
Miss Gray, that is
through
not
the
harassing.
courts.
If he is trying to exercise his right to get custody of his child for whatever reason, because he feels as if it's in the child's best interest, and it very well may be in the child's best interest. I don't know. I'm not hearing that case. That is not harassment. What I said to you was very clear and simple. You live with a man with whom you have 2 young children. You are not married, and there is no question that if you married this man with whom you are living, you would not be receiving welfare.
I'm
Period.
not concerned
End of
about
discussion.
the welfare. I've done it to keep the health insurance on my son because he doesn't pay child support. He doesn't carry health insurance.
Just one second. He doesn't pay child support to you, madam. He pays child support, whatever he pays to the county, because the
doesn't pay
county is
child
supporting
support.
you. Has nothing to do with you.
I have a check stub where they take my child support straight out of my payroll.
Whatever child support he pays goes directly
I
to welfare.
understand
And I'm
that.
telling you that if you were, in fact, married to the man who is the father of your 2 children, you wouldn't be receiving support from Bird.
We haven't been able to get married because of this man.
Then you shouldn't be able to have 2 children with him. What do you mean you haven't been able to get married? That's ridiculous.
We can't afford it. Every time we have set a wedding date, he's taken me back to court. He does this on a regular basis.
Listen to me, Ms. Gray. You're not following what I'm saying to you. You owe him for half of the unreimbursed medical bills for your son since 1998. Your pediatrician said to you, let the doctor who's been treating him continue to treat him. You said, okay, you are responsible under the judgment of your divorce for half of the unreimbursed bills. You're going to pay them. What are the bills in total? Come on.
They come to $723 for her part.
Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $723. That's all.
The parties are excused. You may step out.
The person can only milk the system for so long before they have to be paid for what they agreed in court.
I'm not on welfare because I'm lazy. My doctor said I cannot work.
She needs to pay her part. It took 2 of us to bring him here. It's going to take 2 of us to raise him.
I want him to leave me alone, visit with his son, and just leave me alone.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Cantor versus Ward Andrew. Step forward, please.
31-year-old psychotherapist Lisa Cantor is suing 49-year-old telemarketer Aduni Andrew and 35-year-old homemaker Maureen Ward. Lisa says the defendant's sons threw rocks at her car.
Miss Ward and Miss Andrews, would you have a seat? I'd like your boys to come up here, please. Step up, gentlemen. What is your first name?
Chad.
And yours?
DeAndre.
How old are you, Chad?
13.
And you, DeAndre?
13.
You know who I am?
Yes.
Seen me a couple of times?
Yes.
So you know what to expect?
Yes.
You know that when you're here, we only want to hear about what actually happened. No half-truths, no quarter-truths, no nothing. Do you understand that?
Yes.
You boys were playing outside on September 14th?
Yes. Yes.
Who were you playing with?
It was just me and him.
The 2 of you. And I want you to start out by knowing that I believe that you're not bad boys. You're kids.
Yes.
Were you throwing rocks?
Yes. Yes.
What were you throwing rocks at?
Cars. Cars.
And you were both throwing rocks at cars, right?
Yes. Yes.
How long had you both been throwing rocks at cars?
3 minutes. Yeah, 3 minutes.
Where were you standing when you were throwing rocks at these cars?
The corner. We was on the corner of Halldale.
Were you throwing rocks that were little rocks or bigger rocks?
Well, they wasn't too big.
Show me with your hands.
About that big.
A decent-sized rock. Where did you get the rocks from?
On the ground.
Did you pick up some?
Yes.
You have pretty good aim?
No. No, not really.
How many cars do you think you hit in that 2 or 3 minute period?
I know I hit 1.
What about you?
None.
Is that because you had bad aim?
Yes.
Wasn't for lack of trying, right?
Yes.
You were trying to hit the cars.
Yes.
Did you tell that to your mother?
Yes.
And you?
Yeah.
Told that to your mother?
Uh-huh.
Did you tell it to her right away when this lady came calling and said that one of you had thrown a rock at her car?
Yes. No, not me.
Who didn't fess up right away?
DeAndre.
When did you tell your mother that you were throwing rocks?
The same day.
That's not true.
What did she say to you?
She told me, did I throw the rock at Lisa's car? And I told her no.
That it wasn't the rock that you threw that hit the plaintiff's car. It was the rock that Chad threw that hit the plaintiff's car.
Yes.
But that was just lucky for you, right?
Yes.
Wasn't that you weren't aiming for the plaintiff's car. It's just that you didn't manage to hit it, right?
Yes.
Now, let me ask you this question, DeAndre. I want you to think about this very carefully. If Chad wasn't with you on that day, do you think you would have been standing on the street and throwing rocks?
No.
What would you have been doing?
Probably home.
Now, I'm going to ask you the same question, Chad. If DeAndre wasn't with you, would you have been standing on the corner yourself throwing rocks?
No.
So the reason you were standing on the corner throwing rocks is because you were gathering strength from each other. It was the 2 of you doing it together.
Yes.
Having some fun together, right?
During school
Yes.
hours
Yes.
to boot.
I'm making my point.
Okay.
And my point would be as follows to the mothers. Who is DeAndre's mother? This whole lawsuit is about whether or not DeAndre is as responsible as Chad is for the damage that was done to the plaintiff's car, whose car was hit by one of these rocks. You seem to think that because it was Chad's rock that hit the car, your son isn't responsible. Wrong. They are equally as responsible. It's just the luck of the draw that he didn't hit the car. That was a pretty dumb thing. You know that you could have really caused a terrible accident?
Yes.
So why did you do that? Were you bored?
No.
Well, what were you doing standing out there like two idiots, throwing rocks at cars?
Well, I was bored. I didn't have nothing to do.
Well, do you think if you were in school, you wouldn't have been bored?
At the time, I was doing home study. Well, I still am.
Why were you doing home study? Did you get suspended?
Nah, not really. It's just
Well, not really is not an answer. Did you get suspended?
No.
How long have you been on home study?
Couple of months.
What about you?
No.
No what?
I wasn't bored.
Why weren't you in school?
Because I haven't had my papers yet.
What?
I haven't had my papers for Summit View, a private school I'm going to.
Can I see the bill for the car, please?
Sure.
It was like shooting fish in a barrel. $275. That's pretty cheap. One other thing, you have brothers and sisters?
3 brothers.
You have any younger brothers?
2.
And you?
I have 2 older sisters.
How old are they?
Well, my oldest sister is 30, and my youngest sister is 25.
Do they have children?
Yes.
Do you like their children?
Mm-hmm.
Your nieces and nephews?
Yeah.
You like them? So then let me ask you this. Let's say your little nieces and nephews are driving in a car with your sister, and somebody throws a rock at the car, and your sister swerves and hits a pole, and something happens bad to your nieces and nephews. How would you feel about the person who threw the rock?
I'll probably feel sad and...
Sad or angry?
Mad. Angry.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Why would you feel angry?
Well, because somebody threw a rock at the car, and she had an accident.
Next time either one of you contemplates doing something that's not only foolish, but can be dangerous, I want you to think about how you would feel if somebody that you loved was sitting in a car and was hurt because somebody else was just having some fun. Because although you are 13 now, you're going to be 16 and 17 and 18. You're going to be driving a car one day, and either you're going to be responsible and think about your actions, or you're going to be foolish and cause accidents. You always have to say, how would I feel if somebody did that to me or somebody I loved? You got it?
Yes.
Anything else you want to say?
That's it.
$137.50 for each. You have any questions about what I just did?
No.
Any questions?
No, I don't.
Perfect. Judgment for the plaintiff, that's all.
As I excuse, you may step out.
50-year-old social health worker Rita Wyke is suing her niece, 19-year-old telemarketer Ebony Polk, for the cost of a new car engine and damages to her home.
Order. All rise.
Yeah, this is case number 547 on the calendar in the matter of Wyke versus Polk. Parties have been sworn in. Judge, you may be seated. Ma'am, have a seat.
Ms. Wyke, the defendant is your niece.
Yes.
And according to your complaint, your niece had been living with you.
Yes.
You went away on business for a couple of weeks. And it is your claim that either your niece or someone that she invited to your home destroyed some of your property. And the most expensive thing that was destroyed was your car.
Yes, a 95 Nissan Pathfinder.
And that was damaged because, according to you, the car was not in good running order, and you had brought it back to your home to just sit there until you could take care of it. It was not to be driven. somebody, either the defendant or someone else, drove the car, and because it was driven with no oil, the engine seized or something happened to the engine, and the engine has to be replaced. Ms. Polk said somebody else did it.
Yes.
Oh, okay. How long was your niece living with you?
Ebony moved in with me in March, the middle of March.
Why?
I took Ebony out of a bad situation, Judge, and I let her come and stay with me. I was taking Ebony to and from work until I started having the trouble with the Pathfinder, which was in June. It started leaking oil, and I was told that by the mechanic, I have here the estimate. I needed a real main seal rod bearing, a main bearing. Sure.
Because you're just reading that. You don't understand what all that is. Ladies usually don't understand what all this is. It just is, it doesn't run.
Yes, but that's why the Jeep was parked.
That's why it was parked?
Exactly.
Okay. So the original estimate back in June was $1,650 for parts and labor to fix the car at that time. So from middle of June until July the 6th, the car was just sitting.
Just sitting.
And your niece was living with you
She
at
was
that.
still there.
And you were not giving her rides to and from work in this car?
No, she had to catch city transit.
Okay, so far is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Oh. And then when you went away on July 6th, were you going there for business or pleasure?
No, business. And I was gone for 2 weeks at the group home. Ebony asked if her best friend, Brandy, could stay in the home with her while I was gone. I had no problem with that. When I returned, my Jeep wasn't parked the way I had left it. And I knew then it had been moved. When Ebony came home that afternoon, I asked her what happened. And she told me that they drove that Jeep and she had it towed back to my house.
What happened when you drove the Jeep, Ebony?
Well, I wasn't driving the Jeep. My friend Brandy was driving the Jeep.
Were you the passenger?
Yes.
So it doesn't make any difference. The two of you were in the car. Why did you take the car?
Because the fight had broke out at the house because I had a party. And, you know, a fight had broke out at the house, and I just said I had to go. It was still early, so we got in the Jeep and we went riding.
But you knew that you couldn't use the Jeep because
I
you had...
I know. I already know.
What do you mean you know, you know?
I know. I know the Jeep. I didn't know it was messed up like that because when we got ready to get in the Jeep, an oil leak, I looked under the Jeep and see if any oil on the concrete. It was no oil. So therefore, I thought it was fine. I didn't think it was major like that. So we got in, started driving. Before we could get back to the house, it just stopped. I towed it back to the house. I got it back, I got it back to the, property fine and all right, but I feel
Well, you didn't get it back fine and all right. It had to be towed.
Well, it got back. It was better than leaving it on the side of the road.
You have another estimate for the car?
Exactly. Your Honor, not only that, Ebony went in my daughter's bedroom. I have a handicapped daughter. I had just bought her a 50 CD changer, took that child's stereo out, put it in the den. Now I'm left to buy her another stereo. They demolished that. 5 of her CDs were taken. Only the cases are left.
I was not responsible for that. It wasn't my fault. I did not know the CDs were gone.
For anything.
And I didn't know the stereo was messed up until she told me about it.
Well, can I ask you a question?
Yes.
What kind of fight broke out in the house?
Well, it was a little scuffle, and when the scuffle happened, I told everybody they had to go.
Well, how many people were everybody?
It was only meant to be a few friends, few of Brandy's friends. It ended up being about 50, 60 people, and I knew that wasn't even gonna work. So I told everybody they had to go.
She didn't have permission to have anybody in my house.
Well, listen to me.
I have here.
You made a big mistake.
Yes, I did. Yes, I did. I admit I did.
How old are you?
19.
Okay.
I feel like it's not my fault. I ain't had nothing to do with it. I wasn't driving it. I feel like I shouldn't have to pay for it.
Well, what about the carpet and the furniture?
The carpet?
Don't answer her yet. I'm still adding.
I'm sorry.
Let us assume that the damages, Miss Polk, that your aunt is claiming to her carpet, to the CD changer, the CDs, which she has itemized at, well, it's less than $44.23. It's less than that because I'm deducting the original $16.50 that you were going to be charged to fix the car. Let us assume that all of that is correct. carpet got stained because somebody spilled wine on it.
I offered to clean it though, but she had a little attitude. I told her she had to wait till I got paid. But if she couldn't wait, she had an attitude. I got a mop and bleach and I tried to get it up. It was some stains, but I told her I was gonna get the stain cleaner. She couldn't wait, oh well.
Where are you living now?
I stay with my friend.
Good.
Thank you.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Rita White claims her niece Ebony Polk owes for the cost of a car engine and damage to her home. Rita says Ebony has a bad attitude.
Go ahead.
Your Honor, I have here where I had my carpet and furniture cleaned. I have the receipt here. I've already paid for that. Ebony feels like she's not responsible for anything.
Yes, I know that. What are we going to do about that?
Well, she cannot come back in my home.
Perfect.
There's no way.
Good.
I don't want to come back anyway.
She shouldn't come back to your home. Look, you spent $270 on the carpet.
That was the carpet and the furniture, the love seat and sofa.
And what
together.
about this CD changer?
Yes, that cost $279.
Do you have a bill for it?
No, I don't have that. The original price was like $319, but it was 6 months old because I bought it for her 25th birthday.
That was not my fault.
Well, whose fault was it? Tell me.
The gentleman who was in there who started the scuffle.
But I didn't tell
anyone. Just a second. You allowed those people into your home.
I didn't know it was gonna be that many. I did not know all those people was coming. Brandy knew all those people was coming. I did not know. It was only supposed to have been a couple of people. Those was Brandy's friends. She assumed the wrong one.
Why didn't you call the police?
Because. Why?
What's a because?
Why? They were already gone. I didn't know who it was.
Oh. Listen to me. Some people are helpless. Some people are hopeless.
I am not hopeless.
Hopeless. Hopeless. Not helpless. Hopeless. Waste no more of your energy. You tried to do the right thing, didn't get there, doesn't get the message. She's got the attitude. It's never going to go away. You try to be a nice person. You said, invite your friend over. Don't stay alone. She abused your trust. She has no sense of right and wrong. She's 19 years old, so she's still young. But with that kind of an attitude, she's never going to change. Wash your hands and say, finito, and concentrate on your children, concentrate on your job, concentrate on what you do, concentrate on the fact that she owes you $3,038. Judgment for the plaintiff.
Parties are excused. She may step out.
The Jeep was not my fault, and I'm not paying for that. And she knew that, so oh well.
All I can say is I love her. I love her, and I'll continue to pray for her.
She should have been talking to Brandy about that because those were her friends. She drove the Jeep, and it's her fault. Oh well.
I tried hard for Ebony.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Johnson versus Blocker Thomas. Step forward, please.
35-year-old administrator Gina Johnson is suing 30-year-old nurse Crystal Blocker Thomas for the cost of a wedding veil.
Ms. Johnson, were you and the defendant friends before you loaned her your veil? Your
Yes,
wedding veil?
acquaintances for about 8 years.
Acquaintances, but not good friends.
No.
It's your complaint that you loaned her your wedding veil. She was getting married, and when she finally got around to returning it after many requests, it was ruined, and you want the value of it.
Yes, Your Honor.
So I'd like you to tell me when you agreed to loan her your veil.
We played basketball together in a women's basketball league, and our league had just ended. It was about March. And probably around the mid of March, we went to a restaurant and discussed that she was getting married sometime in July and how expensive it was to get married. And I explained to her that I knew a lot of ways to cut costs, and I had some items that she could borrow. And I had not heard from Crystal after we had that lunch until the morning of her wedding, and that was sometime in July. She called me at 6:45 a.m., spoke to my husband. She called back about 9:15 that morning. And I explained to her, you know,
What did she say to you when you spoke to her at 9 o'clock in the morning?
She says, "Hi, Gina, this is Crystal. I'm calling you because I would like to borrow your wedding veil. You remember when we had the conversation about borrowing the veil?" And I said, "Yes, I do." I said, "When you get married?" She says, "Today." And I
So
said,
you
"Well,"
were not really close friends because you weren't going to the wedding.
right, correct.
So you're just acquaintances.
Right.
So go ahead.
And so when I talked to her on the phone, I said, well, Crystal, I have plans today. You know, you're getting married today. What time? And I believe she said about 4 o'clock. And I'm a woman of my word. I said that she could borrow it. I was going to let her borrow it. I didn't want to leave her out. And so about that time, I told her, okay, I've got plans. You need to meet me closer to my home. She agreed to meet me I guess it was about noon. And I met her, gave her my veil in its original plastic bag on a hanger hanging in mint condition. And she got out of the car and across the street and gave her my veil. I said, congratulations. Get this back to me as soon as you can. She says, no problem. Thank you.
Okay, so you had your wedding?
Yes.
Now you say she gave you the veil.
Yes.
Well, let me hear, because the wedding, it's clear that the veil must have come back in terrible condition, which you'll show me in a minute. Tell me about your recollection of the conversation that took place in July when you got married.
Okay, we were at Ken Ride's, and as she stated, we were talking about the wedding. Gina just openly said, Crystal, if you need anything, I have so many things that I'm not going to use again. They're not, they're going to be totally obsolete. So if you need anything, just call me, and I'll be more than willing to give you whatever I have. She said, because I know I'm not going to use it again. So I said, okay, well, I don't believe I need too much because I'm pretty much finished.
You called her the day of your wedding?
Yes.
And you told her you didn't have a wedding veil? Had you forgotten to get a wedding veil?
No. Well, I guess I did forget because I wasn't going to wear a piece. I wasn't going to wear a headpiece.
And then you decided to wear a headpiece?
Right.
So you called her first thing in the morning?
No, I called her because I went to go get my hair done first thing in the morning. And the way she did my hair, I realized a veil would probably look better.
So you called her and asked her for hers?
I asked her, did she have one? Because we never discussed that I would use her veil. I asked her, did she have one? And she said, as a matter of fact, I do.
When she gave you the veil, she gave it to you on a hanger?
She gave it to me on a hanger with 2 safety pins in it.
And it was covered with plastic?
A trash bag, not a bridal bag.
It was covered with plastic?
Yes.
And it was in perfect enough condition for you to use that day. I assume you used it. I assume you used it that day.
I didn't use the entire veil. I altered it.
What do you mean you altered it?
Because we let her know, because I was with my friend Tamara that dropped me out, that was doing the driving, rather. And she let me know, Tamara let her know, this will
Where's
not work.
Tamara?
This is Tamara right here.
Step up. Did you ever tell the plaintiff that you were going to change, alter, cut, modify the veil?
Yes, ma'am, we did mention that day because when we...
No, I want you to tell me what you said, because she said she didn't say anything.
Well, when I looked at the veil, I said the headpiece would have to come off because of how Crystal's hair was done that day, because it's a headband type headpiece. It would not go over her hair.
And when did you tell that to the plaintiff?
Right when we got out the car, because we were both out of the car, and actually...
Did she tell you that?
No, Your Honor. The first time I saw her, she was behind the wheel. I had never spoke to her.
Did they ever tell you that they were going to do anything to alter your headpiece?
No, Your Honor.
Of course not. Let me see how they returned it, please.
Your Honor, and I also have my friend Teresa Cackley, who is here as a witness, who heard the original conversations.
I don't care what the original conversation was. Nobody gives a stranger their wedding veil. Now, when it was returned to you, I read your complaint, and you said that this is just a piece of... Where's the whole piece?
She still has it, Your Honor, and that's a headpiece.
This is the actual headpiece.
When it was returned to you, was it returned to you in a garbage bag full of other things?
Yes, Your Honor.
Why?
I didn't return it to her. My husband brought it to the gym because she was talking badly about me to her.
So she wanted her wedding veil back. Why didn't you give it back to her?
She let me have it. Why would I give it back if she let me have it?
Listen, is that also a piece from her wedding veil?
No, this is how we auctioned it. This is the actual necklace that went on the veil. As you can see, we just...
Just a minute. Was that originally on the veil when she gave it to you?
No.
That?
No.
That was your piece?
Yes.
Now, this has nothing to do with money. So I want you just to answer my question. Do you have all the pieces now that you had from your veil?
No, I don't, Your Honor.
What is missing?
As you can see, someone picked the pearls off of the back of it. You can see where some of them were glued here, and they've been removed off the veil.
So there's no way that, I mean, you're going to get your money. There's no way you're not going to get your money, whatever the cost of the veil was, because Miss Thomas is not operating with a full deck. I never heard of any young woman who thought that she borrowed either a wedding dress from an acquaintance, not a friend, not a best friend, not somebody who was invited to the wedding, from an acquaintance, borrowed a wedding veil, borrowed shoes, borrowed a bag, and then said, oh, it's mine. I can now treat it like garbage. You're absolutely outrageous, and your husband is a bigger slob by returning it in that garbage bag to her with some old dead flowers in it. Was there wedding cake in there too?
Your Honor, that is her bouquet that she returned and did not know it was in the bag. And that's the only way I could get her to return my calls, that she wanted her bouquet back.
Really? Why did you want your bouquet back? No. Just answer my, don't think about it. Just tell me, why did you want your bouquet back?
Because it's my bouquet. And
oh! So it's your bouquet.
Right.
And you want it back. Sue for it. Sue for it. I want you to listen to me very carefully. You're going to be unsuccessful.
Okay.
You want to know why? Because your husband gave it to her.
Well, she gave me her veil.
No, she didn't.
She never said it was
No, she
alone.
didn't. You just told me your husband gave her this entire bag. I am finding that she loaned you the veil, which you destroyed. But it's so interesting to me, Miss Thomas, that you say, well, it's my bouquet from my wedding. I want it back. And you can't understand why really a stranger who was being nice to you gave you her wedding veil, which is expensive, which was lovely, and you think, she gave it to me, and I don't have to give it back to her. So, you want those flowers? I suggest you file a lawsuit. I hope it doesn't come before me, because if it comes before me, you're not going to get it back because your husband gave it to her. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount requested. The veil is worth at least $220. That's all.
Thank you, Your
Parties
Honor.
are excused. You may step.
Hoffman is suing 22-year-old former inmate Karina Ondike for an unpaid loan and for false allegations of propositioning her for sex.
Come to order. All rise. Yes, this is case number 483 on the calendar in the matter Hoffman versus Ondike. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated, sir. Have a seat, please.
Mr. Hoffman, it is your claim that you loaned the defendant some money. She needed a start. She had been incarcerated, and she came to you for help. And you helped her out by finding her a place to live, loaning her some money. According to you, she repaid you by not paying you back, and in addition, made some allegations against you, which caused you to have to retire early from your job. You want to be compensated for that, too. The defendant says you were paid back the money by her boyfriend, and in addition, she never made false allegations against you. She only told the district attorney the truth. Is that right?
That's right.
Okay. So, Ms. Ondike, what were you in jail for?
I was in jail for theft.
What kind of theft?
Shoplifting clothes.
Is that the first time you were in jail?
No.
How many times had you been in jail before?
I had been booked and released probably about 2 or 3 times before that.
For what?
Theft also.
Shoplifting?
Yes.
Anything else other than shoplifting?
No.
What about your boyfriend? Ever been arrested?
Yes.
For what?
For being with me while I was shoplifting.
So the two of you were a team of shoplifters?
No. No, he was not.
Uh-huh. Now, how long were you in jail for?
9 days.
How did you meet the plaintiff?
I met him through my roommate.
Your roommate who you were in jail with?
Yes.
Yes, go ahead.
I didn't have anywhere to go. I confided in her, and she introduced me to Brent, and he told me that he had a place for me to stay, and I had nowhere else to go.
What was his job in the jail?
He was a guard.
Okay. Now, Mr. Hoffman, how long were you a guard?
I've been with the county for 11 years.
Prior to that, what did you do?
I was with the state for 10 years.
Same capacity?
No, ma'am. I was an information officer there.
In the 11 years that you've been with the county as a guard, did you ever help a prisoner before?
I wrote a letter for one to the judge.
Other than that?
Other than that, nothing.
So what prompted you to do something for this young lady?
It was a spur of the moment, more or less. When I didn't know her. She was kept in another building, in a female wing. When I was introduced to her the first time, I basically saw someone that was scared, undernourished, just really down and out. I thought possibly just that I maybe could help and maybe make a difference.
So what did you do when she was released?
Picked her up, took her down, met Neil, my witness, and he went over the ground rules as far as where she was going to stay. It was in his apartment that was being empty.
His apartment was empty.
He was coming back into jail.
What do you mean he was coming back into jail?
He was arrested for driving after revocation. And it coincided that he was coming in when she was getting out.
So she was going to be living there by herself.
Correct.
Is that right so far?
Right.
And where was your boyfriend at this time?
He had his own place to stay.
All right. So how did you help her, Mr. Hoffman?
I got her a roof over her head. I was initially told that she was abused. She wanted to have a place. She couldn't go home because of her getting out of jail. She wasn't on good footing with her parents. Basically, she was telling me she had no place to go, no money, nothing.
How much money did you loan her?
$354.89. That was to cover her pawn ticket. She had a diamond graduation ring that meant a lot to her, that she would lose it if she didn't pay for that. We went and got that. I have the pawn ticket here. I also loaned her enough money to get tabs on her car, get the title transferred to her name so she could drive legally, and car insurance so that she could be up and running and try to find a job.
And according to your complaint, sir, she signed a note for that.
Yes, she did.
May I see it, please?
There's two notes. One is the original agreement, and the other one is what you paid to date.
What day were you released from jail?
Boy, it was months and months ago.
What day was she released?
August 27th.
Yeah.
8/27.
Yes.
Okay, you signed this note. Is that right?
Correct.
Okay. And then on October 14th, you signed another note that indicated that there was $250 due.
Right.
Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Because you made some payments to him.
Right. Slowly but surely.
Good. Now tell me about, sir, your early retirement.
On December 24th, I received a note from my administrator indicating that I was going to be asked to come down for an internal affairs hearing. Something in the back of my mind told me what it was about based on what had been going down the road with Karina.
What had been going down the road with Karina?
When she moved in, there were certain guidelines that she was asked to follow by Neil and by myself. And that was she clean her act up, get off drugs, get a job. In that process, she started to. She got a job. I helped her open up a bank account so she could have some money that she could fall back on. And that didn't last real long. And as soon as she got her first paycheck, that kind of started going down the road from there. She didn't like the job or whatever. She just couldn't show up on time because of the drugs. She freely admitted that she was using again. And that was one of the stipulations. It just kept getting worse and worse. She was back to stealing again.
How did you find out she was back to stealing again?
She stole something, and I asked her where it came from, and she said, I stole it. She admitted.
How did you see her during that time, sir?
At different times, I was asked by Neil to check on the apartment. And at different times, Karina would call me, too. She had a question about this, or she was upset about this, something with her boyfriend. She'd call me, and I'd stop after work or on my day off.
So what happened?
Basically, I took an early retirement. I resigned on my own accord instead of drawing it through more hearings and more hearings and more hearings.
What were the allegations that she made against you?
The allegations that she made was I hugged her, which I admitted to that. I did not make any sexual innuendos toward her. That was pretty much it that I'm aware of.
Okay, let's get to these allegations. How was the county contacted?
An attorney general contacted me and wanted to know what went down. They had heard that he had been harassing one of the inmates at the jail.
Not you?
Well, they wanted to know if he had been harassing me also. And I said, yes, he has made some sexual allegations towards me.
Like what?
Like, if I were to take a shower with him, I could totally forget about everything I ever owed him.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Retired prison guard Brent Hoffman says former inmate Karina Ondike owes for a loan he made after her release. Brent also claims Karina filed a false complaint with his supervisors, claiming he propositioned her for sex.
Okay. Did you see him after he made this, what you claim is an indecent proposal? Mm-hmm. Did you see him after that?
Yep.
How many times?
I can't count how many times. He had a key to Neil's apartment. He could come over whenever
After that occasion, did he ever make any other sexual references to you?
He just kept reminding me that if I did this with him, I could totally forget about it.
So he said it again?
Yeah.
How many times did he make that suggestion to you?
Probably twice after the first one.
But you saw him many, many times afterwards, according to you. Anything discussed on those other occasions?
I'd only see him for short times every time I would see him.
Mr. Hoffman, were there any other allegations, any other complaints that were made to Internal Affairs to the best of your knowledge, sir?
No.
How old are you?
59.
You understand that you could have gone through the entire process.
Yes, I could have. The entire process would have been long and drawn out. This way, by doing what I did, I receive a severance package and I get my full retirement.
Well, Mr. Hoffman, if you had gone through the entire administrative process, then we would have known whether there were any other allegations made or anything else. I don't. So you cannot be compensated for your early retirement, Mr. Hoffman. However, unless you have proof that you paid him the balance of this money, you still owe him $250. You have any proof that you paid him that $250?
I failed to get a receipt.
Failed to get a receipt, and you do have that you did pay to date 3 different payments as of October 14th. So you should have gotten a receipt.
Right.
Right. So you owe him $250. Mr. Hoffman, I don't know whether anything that this young lady says is true or not. I don't know that, sir. If it is not true, the phrase, no good deed goes unpunished, sort of comes to mind.
Yes, it does.
In any event. You are retired now? Want to go to work anyplace else?
I probably will.
Good. You have a pension from the state?
Yes.
Okay. Is it a reasonable pension?
It'll do.
It'll do. Good. Okay. Good luck, sir. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $250. That's all.
Thank you.
Parties are excused, man. Step out.
The whole situation is just sick.
I tried to help someone and it just blew up in my face.
Never move in with people you don't know.
I'll still try to help people, but I'll approach it differently.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Thomas versus Flannery. Step forward.
19-year-old homemaker Amanda Thomas is suing her fiancé's father, 38-year-old auto mechanic Paul Flannery Sr., for the money she paid him to fix her car.
Miss Thomas, you and the defendant's son, I assume this is the defendant's son,
Yes.
are boyfriend and girlfriend.
Fiance.
According to your complaint, some time ago, the defendant agreed to fix your car, and you gave him money. Months went by, and finally, since the car wasn't fixed, you had it towed back to your residence where you were living. You want Mr. Flannery to give you back your money because he did not do what he said he was going to do to fix the car. Mr. Flannery says he did invest a lot of time and effort in the car, and his defense is you are really just a troublemaker. Is that your defense, sir?
Yes.
Okay. Would you stand up here, please? What's your first name?
Paul?
Paul, do you and Miss Thomas live together?
Yes.
Just the two of you, or do you live?
We have a child, a
We have a
4-month-old.
daughter.
So the 3 of you live together?
Yes.
Do you work?
Yes.
Do you work?
No, I'm a housewife.
Whose wife are you?
Housemaker.
A house fiancée.
House fiance.
Now, tell me about this car. What was wrong with it?
It had some motor problems. Mr. Flannery over here was, the agreement was he was to fix our motor, put paint on the car, and put an exhaust on the car. And if there was any money left over, he was to put tires on our car.
Is that your business, sir?
It's my field, yes.
Well, what do you do for a living?
I'm a mechanic, yeah, that's...
So you are in the business of
Yes.
fixing cars?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You were supposed to fix the motor, paint it, and put in an exhaust system.
That's basically true, but the agreement was more that I was gonna... This was more of a resurrection than a car repair. There was no transmission, driveline parts thrown everywhere. The interior was all inside the car. I mean, this was a extensive project. This was not just a repair.
Now, did you have another car, or was this your only car?
We have a 2-seater car. I was pregnant at the time, and he said he would get this car done in 3 months, so I would have a back seat for my child.
How much did you give him to fix the car?
I gave him $1,930, and I have a copy of that check.
Okay, he doesn't deny that you gave him the check.
Okay.
And when did you give him the car?
The check was written on May 18th, so he took the car probably 2 weeks after that.
And how long were you supposed to take to fix the car, sir?
There was no time limit put on this. When I talked to my son, the only statement that I made in regards to time was that it would be at least 6 months. I also told him...
Why was it going to take at least 6 months?
Well, because I work, pretty much full-time. I work every other Saturday. And when I do things like this, I'm not going to sacrifice my family. I have small children in the house and my wife, and I'm not going to take every minute that I have off just to do this vehicle. I mean, that was the understanding. This was something that was just going to be done over a period of time.
All right. When was the baby due?
November 5th.
And that's when you wanted the car. You wanted the car so that you
Before
have
then, yeah. It was supposed to be 3 months after I gave him the check, and he knew that we only had a 2-seater car.
Okay. So what happened?
After the 3 months, we asked him what was going on with the car. He said the machine shop is booked up and, they're taking a little longer. Well, in December, we had gotten very impatient, and we asked him again. He said the machine shop is taking too long, you know? So he decided that he was going to go ahead and put paint on the car and put tires on the car, you know? Well, you know, where's the motor? I called the machine shop. They said they've had the motor for a few months now, and if somebody would give him the money, he could get the motor done in 2 weeks.
Had you paid the machine shop for the motor?
No.
Why not?
Well, initially when I did this, we agreed on the amount. I knew the amount of money I had to work with. I was looking to spend in the $700 range on the motor itself so that I could afford all these other things.
What other things?
Well, as far as the paint and body, the putting back together what was torn apart.
How much did you have to spend in parts, Mr. Flannery, other than the $700 that you say you needed for the motor?
I probably spent $300 or so on paint and body supplies.
Okay, and that's all the money you spent on the car?
Other than wheels and tires that I purchased for the car also.
Well, how much was that?
That was about $600.
You have receipts for that?
I do have receipts for that.
Let me see the receipts from all the things that you did on the car.
Your Honor, I would like to see those receipts also.
Me too.
No, I do not have receipts for the paint and supplies.
Your Honor, they
I
were
only
in
have
his
for the
garage.
one time.
I know because I work with him all the time. He told me when he did the car, the paint job's not going to cost anything because I have the stuff laying around the house to do it.
Paint.
We can get the motor going for your son, sure, no problem. Guess what? It's not.
The machine shop also said that it's going to cost $1,500 for us to get our motor out.
You can't run a car without a motor.
Exactly.
You can run it without paint, but not without a motor.
Exactly.
When did you finally take the car back?
December 31st, we had it towed, and I have a receipt for the tow.
So why didn't you just give them their money back?
Well, I could have given them back, I suppose, a certain amount, but I have, like I said, the amount in wheels and tires, the paint and body.
The paint and body you did, sir, and that you did for your son, I assume.
Well, you know, the whole thing was done for my son. This was not a...
So then don't count on the things, the paint and body you had, because that's your business. Now, you said you put new tires on the car?
Yeah, and wheels.
Well,
it had mismatched wheels. And...
Let me see.
Your Honor, that receipt is from his place of employment.
Let me see. Let me see. Were these used tires, sir?
No, the tires were brand new, but the wheels weren't used.
And the tires you paid $64 a piece for?
Yes.
Tire company. Do you work for them?
Yes.
What's the list price of these tires?
I would have no idea that. I'm not involved in sales.
Is this the wholesale price for tires?
No, it's cost plus 10% or whatever.
Show me your check to them, sir, for $591.
I didn't pay it in check. I paid them in cash.
I don't believe you, Mr. Flannery. I don't believe you at all. You have to give them back their money, sir. What I don't understand, Mr. Flannery, is if you were going to do this for your son because they needed a car because they were going to have a baby, as ridiculous as that is for a 17-year-old and a 19-year-old to have a baby, then you should have done it for nothing.
Well, I was doing it for nothing.
No,
the money was only for whatever it took to get the car back into...
But you didn't get it into shape. It didn't work 8 months later.
Your Honor, that just was not part of the deal. I mean, my son and I
They
sat
needed
at length.
the cars so that they would have a back seat of the car to put the baby in.
That point wasn't even brought up at the time of the agreement. I mean,
Mr. Flannery, you think that these two people have a lot of money?
No.
They don't have any money. And if they have a two-seater car, so if they want to travel with their baby, you know, you don't have to discuss it. The parent knows. My kids are having a baby, so I'm going to take all my spare time and see to it that by the time the baby comes, they'll have a car with a back seat.
Your
That's
Honor,
what parents do.
I gave him the money and I told him nothing else was important other than the fact that I wanted the car to move. He knew that. He can't say that he didn't know that. It's a bold-faced lie. I told him, we gotta have this car on the road. I don't care what it looks like. She needs to go to work. I need to go to work. We can't survive.
None of that was ever even said or brought up.
Well, why do you think that they took whatever little bit of money they had and gave it to you?
They wanted me to make a decent car out of it.
So then why didn't you say, let me have the car. I'll see how little I can have it done for. When I'm finished with it, you'll pay me for the parts, instead of taking the money from them up front.
Well, Your Honor, we're not exactly, rich either. And
Neither are they.
I know, and we were just, we live paycheck to paycheck like everybody else.
But so far, you didn't expend any money.
And-
You were sitting with their money. Most parents would do it and say, I'll take care of it myself, and I'll struggle, even though you did a foolish thing by making this family before you were supposed to, before you were fully cooked. But certainly, if you have their money for a year, you don't buy a motor for a year. Car can't run without a motor. You got to give them back their money. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $1,930. That's all.
Parties are excused. May step out.